Blackstone Publishing presents The Right Murder, a John J. Malone mystery by Craig Rice. This book is read by Johnny Heller. Chapter 1. The pudgy, red-faced man sitting alone at the bar was crying into his gin. From time to time he raised his glass, drank from it, stared into it as though it were a crystal ball reflecting all the sorrows of the world, and set it down again. It didn't matter to him that the other customers in Joe the Angel's City Hall bar, most of them his friends too, were having a wonderful time. Even the loud trio at the 26-game table didn't distract him. Once he did lift his head when he realized that the group of men next to him was celebrating the election. He lifted his head because it puzzled him. The election had been over 2 months ago. Then he discovered it was Cleveland's election they were celebrating and returned to his incipient melancholia. The short, stocky, red-faced man was John J. Malone, Chicago's most famous criminal lawyer. At the moment, he was also the unhappiest man on earth. It wasn't just because the long-legged brunette from Chez Paris had hawked his expensive Christmas present and gone off to New York with a new prospect. It wasn't because he had reached that stage of being broke, where the only thing he could afford to do was to get expensively drunk. Nor was it because this was New Year's Eve, and he was all alone in the big city. It was just that the two people he liked best in the world had gone off to Bermuda on their honeymoon, and he missed them. Malone pushed the thinning, damp black hair back from his forehead, mopped his face, shoved his empty glass and a $5 bill at Joe the Angel and said, "Let me know when this is used up." If Jake were only here. Red-haired Jake Justus was the greatest press agent alive, just as, by his own admission, he'd been the greatest reporter on earth until the Examiner fired him. If Helene were only here. Helene. Blonde, beautiful, rich, glamorous, the terror of the traffic department, and the delight of every bartender between Lake Bluff and Gary. But Jake and Helene were honeymooning in Bermuda. John J. Malone hoped Jake and Helene were having a wonderful time, and cried into his gin. The four men to his immediate right began singing, "Did Your Mother Come from Ireland?" The little lawyer roused himself long enough to wonder why it was that whenever four men sing in a barroom, 3 of them turn out to be Irish. A City Hall hanger-on chose that inauspicious moment to edge up to him and say chummily, "Say, I hear you certainly were a lot of help in clearing up those State and Madison shootings." Malone said, "Sorry, I'd like to buy you a drink, but that's okay, pal. Did the girl really confess to you that she'd done the killings?" The morose man stemmed the flood of questions with a long, cold, and perfectly vacant stare. "You're John J. Malone, aren't you?" "Hell no," the lawyer said. "You've got the wrong guy. I'm Admiral Byrd."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?